Alright, we just need to measure how tall this is because I don't remember. Turn it over and see here. Then you just put it on the bottom and measure 4 feet. So the other one is 36 inches, which might be enough because we're going to put a kickboard.
Good morning, Willow Cove Crofters. Today I will be doing the intro because my mom didn't have an idea for what to do for the intro. So approximately 6 days ago was our dog Connor's pass away date, so today we decided to pay respects to him. So previously we were over there. We let Corbin have his minute because he had a much deeper connection with our dog than I did, because Corbin is older than me and he was with Connor longer than I was, but we all really miss him. Connor will always be with us. We plan on planting a tree there for him as a little memorial. Probably put a picture of him on there, something like that. But today we just measured this fence and we're going to be cutting down some stuff. And Pumpkin's doing a lot better. And all the chickens look happy around here. And then our little rooster, our little bantam rooster, just tried to fight off Eric today. Well, that's pretty much all I have for the intro today. So, see ya.
I have no idea what he's doing. He's power washing a stump to then cut it. Seems strange. Alright, so Dee took over my intro. Guess I might lose my job soon. Just kidding. The big project for today is solving a fencing problem for our garden. Last year what we did is we did step-in posts with the really cheap plastic deer netting. We'd like to do something more permanent this year. So my idea originally was to get the same green posts from Tractor Supply and use those. When I went and looked at the price of those posts, they're almost $10 now. And I swear the last time that I went and picked up those, they were like this $5 to $7 range. And I looked there, I checked Lowe's, which was even more expensive, and I'm not buying ugly green posts for that price. So, the solution to my problem is another problem. All these trees, and a lot of those trees, are you really gonna do that right now? Let me finish my little conversation and then you can go on with your noisy stuff. I have to deal with. All right, so I'm gonna use a lot of these. Do we know what those trees are? The straight ones? We don't know what they are. We're gonna use them anyway. I'm gonna treat the top and the bottom with that green stuff you buy. I'll figure out the name when I get further along in this project. But basically we're gonna cut down trees, make poles out of them instead of paying $10 a pole. But first, I don't know how many poles I need. Dee and I are gonna measure while Mr. Noisy Pants gets on with his own project. All right, let's get this measured out. Trust me, I realize that these aren't going to last forever. However, it may buy me a couple years, hopefully it will buy me a couple years, for lumber prices to go back to a less insane rate. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around the property up towards the front because it's closest to the barn. We need 16 of these guys, 4 to 6 inches wide. Oh, I need the measuring tape to measure them. Can you grab that? I don't know what I did with it. So this is our first candidate. Corbin's going to do the cutting. Sister and I are going to do the dragging of the excess to the burn pile and moving the poles towards the barn. It's not going to look perfect. It's definitely going to look country, but it's going to protect the garden from the chickens. And that's really all that matters. And then eventually Matt's going to have to build a gate for it. But baby steps. First baby step, cut this sucker down. Perfect. Okay, we've pretty much exhausted what we can find there, but we only need about 8 more, right, Dee?
Also exhausted ourselves.
We're not exhausted yet. He
Yes,
might be
I am.
exhausted. You just got up, you lazy bones.
I'm always tired.
It's because she's a teenager.
No?
All right, so we need to find about 8 more, 1 more 9-foot, and 7 more 7-footers, which we're gonna go back here because this is where the path,
That one.
that super tall one, I think that's too fat.
I mean from the middle up.
It's not, it's twisty. We'll find some. We're going back where all the birchy things are. We don't want to cut pines down because I do know those will rot a whole lot faster. And I'm trying to get at least 2 years. If we can get 2 years, that'd be fantastic. And there's a spot back here where it's more like a grove, has less of the longleaf pine and more of what we're looking for. About that one.
This is the path of the wolf.
Yeah, that's Dad's new path.
Nobody knows.
That one's straight. Yeah, that's where he's milling that oak tree.
One?
Yeah.
That's like 1 7-footer. Or 1 9-footer.
Well, we need a 9-footer.
Alright, Jay, move.
Didn't die that time. Don't ever do that. This is how. I haven't done that in for a while. Went to the lumber store, got me some wood. Ah.
I told you it was heavy. Come on, you got this.
Gonna have the Highland Games in the backyard.
Throwing logs.
Oh my
You
gosh.
can do shot put.
Oh my gosh.
What's
I got it. I got
Shot
my
put is the
log.
thing when you,
I got my log.
And see how hard and see how high it goes and how far it goes.
All right,
how far it goes, yeah, and if it sticks in the ground.
we got all our logs.
We don't need to cut down and kill any more trees.
They're dead.
Have you
They were
seen
dead.
our forest? For any tree huggers that have a complaint about this, this forest is dying, okay? If someone doesn't come in and take out a lot of overgrowth, this forest is not going to be here. It's going to be a horrible mess. Look at that thing.
What?
Is that an old cypress or something?
Whoa.
Oh,
that?
yeah, I see it. The one with the.
That's like the type of tree you see crows sitting on it.
Okay, now that we are done lumber shopping for the day, Dee Dee wants to take a walk along the creek. I don't know if it actually counts as a creek, but we call it the creek. And Matt eventually has cut in a new path where he's milling some white oak of a tree that fell down. It looks like it fell down over a year ago. And we didn't want it to go to waste. May end up making countertops, but I have to follow her because there's no path here. Why do I have the tripod with me? You think so?
Maybe.
I don't think Dad did that. The neighbors must have done
Look
that.
at the flowers going along.
I know. This is the creek. It doesn't always flow like this, but what's it been? Like 3/4 of the year, right? Yeah, most of the year it does. It actually, is there, there's something up there that this runs into. Our property is split, so all of the drainage runs into this as well, and it goes to another larger creek, and then it feeds into Deep Creek, which is one of the big ones. It's not a river, but it cuts through Cove City. Dee Dee found a cool spot by this big old tree with a little sandbar. We've started to discuss, this is not an immediate plan, probably not in the next 5 years. The back of the, would you rather do it here or more towards the middle of the woods?
What?
The cabin.
The cabin?
Yeah.
I'd like a cabin by the creek.
To hear the water? Yeah, we've been sort of playing with the idea of building a very small primitive cabin, just somewhere you can come back and
Girl cave for me and my friends.
Dee Dee wants a girl cave. The other thing is that's not our side, but you can see those are mushrooms.
And all right there, look how that's all like.
Yeah, someone's been clearing out over there, and it's not us.
I've never seen them. It's a ghost.
But mushrooms grow really well, so we are going to be adding mushroom logs. I think I'll research this year and probably implement that. I can't walk through here, Devin.
Huh?
You can't walk through here.
I don't think you can anyway. I think this is where it cuts off our property right here.
No, that's ours. Everything this side of the stream is us. The reason there are all these cut throughs, the ditches, is because there used to be, this used to be farmland. But yeah, that's the big old tree that fell down a year or so ago, and we're not gonna let it go to waste.
Tiny desert.
But look at this, if we cut this out, sand it down and epoxy it, that'd be cool, right? Right? Didn't we cut a 9 foot?
We cut 7.
No, we cut 8. I knew there were supposed to be 8. There were 7 of these and 1 9.
I remember. I know we cut a 9 foot.
Yeah.
But
There's
all
one.
I saw.
All right, we have our stack of logs. We have 2 9-footers. We have, I don't know, 14. Sounds right. 14 7-footers. I have a friend who might have, I forget what it's called, a curved or straight something blade. So I need to strip them of the bark. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that copper dip, the stuff that you find on, man, that saw is loud. The stuff that you find on pressure treated wood, I'm going to dip both ends. We're going to end up cutting the top once we set them at an angle so that the water runs off. But hopefully that will buy us a couple years. I think that is it for today. I love when Aspen does this. It's a good girl. That's a lady who knows her job. She does that anytime she sees an animal that she doesn't want to come by, and she does that anytime anyone other than Matt, Dee, or I come outside. Corbin had a friend, and I didn't know he was here, helping him clean the rabbits the other day, and she was just barking and barking. I couldn't figure out what was wrong. Came to check on her, and they were just over here doing the bunnies. She sat there and did that the whole time, which is exactly why we have her. So, very grateful. She is doing an excellent job. I could not be more pleased with that dog, and she's very young. She still comes in the evenings. She spends the night in a crate. She eats inside, but she's spending her whole day untethered outside with her goats, and she knows what she's supposed to be doing, so we let her do her thing. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode. I know not the most exciting, but we're going to get those stripped and treated in the ground. We only have a few weeks till we need to start planting, and Matt is going to be gone the first couple weeks of April because he has business, so I need to make sure those are in the ground at least, and the kids and I can set up the fencing. Again, thank you for joining us. You guys take care. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions about using raw wood, please drop that down below. It's not a new thing, but it's progressively more where we're going just because the cost of wood is astronomical. It's ridiculous. Nobody should have to go and spend that much money to put up a teeny tiny fence. All right, that's what I think anyway. Take care. Bye. See you later.